So, today I'd like to talk about something that I noticed this morning when I went to the shops to get a few things that I find a little worrying, quite frankly. And that is this shift towards cashless. So, in the store that I bought some milk and some veggies, they now have 3 out of 5 tills are cashless. In other words, you can only pay with a credit or debit card. And it would seem like they are moving towards a completely cashless store. And you might say to me, well, you know, that actually is very cool because it's much more convenient to pay with your card and they don't have to keep cash. So there's less chance of getting robbed, and they don't have to pay for the cash to be deposited in their bank and so on and so forth. And sure, those things are true, but there's also some distinct downsides, and I'm just thinking of a couple of them now. So the first thing is, when I left the store and went back to my car, there was a car guard there whose sole source of income is tips that he gets from people who park. And with that money, he needs to try and eat and stay alive. But now what happens if there's no cash in the store? So then you are not carrying any cash, you can't get any change. What are you going to give the car guard? Because I guarantee you he doesn't have a credit card machine or a bank account. So this is a convenient thing for those who have money, but for the poorest of the poor, it is just another way to oppress them and exclude them from the economy. And that just can't be a good thing. You might think that you can get away with treating your fellow men with contempt, but it'll catch up with you in the long run. So that's downside number one. Downside number two is, if you don't ever have any cash on you and you get mugged or robbed, well, when you've got cash, generally the mugger is going to take that cash and chuck your wallet away, and you can recover quite easily from that by reissuing everything. It's admin, but you know, it's not the end of the world. But if you have no cash, well, then he's going to take you hostage and he's going to make you go and draw all the money that you have from your bank accounts. So I can't honestly see how that's better than having some cash in your wallet. Lastly, and this is also something that's been worrying me more and more over time, is with the advent of AI these days, big corporates want to analyze absolutely everything. And if you stop spending cash, then you are giving your bank, and by extension the tax man, the opportunity to analyze absolutely every transaction that you make. And if you're like me, you don't really have anything to hide. But on the other side of that equation, there is some guy or girl sitting in a management position in government or in a bank who wants to take advantage of the spending habits that you have and find ways to tax you on your spending. So you would find that if you don't spend any cash, and every authority is aware of exactly what you're spending, over time they're going to adjust the rules such that you'll get taxed more heavily on the things that you do more often. And ultimately it's going to be to your detriment. So I want to suggest that you consider carefully where you take your business, and that you think seriously about preferring those who accept cash. Because ultimately it's on us ordinary people to form the path forward. So if you start avoiding shops that don't accept cash, they will be forced to change. And if you give your life away to the authorities, they'll take advantage of you. Don't think they are there for you. They never have been. They never will be. So perhaps you think I'm a little, what's the word? Not anxious, paranoid. But I'm generally an optimist. I expect that the best things will happen, but when I see something like this, then I start to think, what is actually going on here? And I encourage you to think critically about such things that you see around you, like this move towards a cashless society. I personally think it's a terrible idea.